How's it going, Lost Ark? Sethphir here, and we are back with another video. Today we are going to be talking about how to make millions of silver. This is going to be a free-to-play guide, so this is not going to include any ways of whaling or obtaining silver like that. It's just all strictly free-to-play things that you can do in the game without spending any money. So we're going to go ahead and divide this guide up into 4 sections. The first section is going to be one-time sources of silver. Then the next section will be an RNG sources of silver, followed up by dailies, and then lastly, weekly sources of silver. Silver is a very important resource as it is used for changing your gems into the appropriate skills that you need for your build, as well as cutting your ability stone and upgrading your gear pieces and honing. So these are all going to be very, very big silver sinks as well as guild donations. So all of this stuff is going to slowly chip away at your silver over time, and you're going to hit a point where you need silver and you do not want to be without. Trust me, it is terrible. You're not going to be able to use your Bifrost. You're not going to be able to use the boat. It's going to be a nightmare. So make sure you do all these things to get ahead and make sure you have a comfortable amount of silver. So first, we'll go ahead and talk about the one-time sources of silver. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is going to be quests. If you take a look at your maps, you will generally see little notifications. But if you see anything that has a chain quest, like sort of indicator, or a little circle around the exclamation point, as well as any quest that is purple, will most likely give a large source of silver. I'm talking 30 to 40, maybe even 50,000 silver per quest, depending on the tier of the level that it's in. So these are something to keep an eye out for. The next source that you have of silver in a one-time fashion is going to be your reputation from Una tasks. So Una tasks, or each task, has a reputation level. You hit level 1, then level 2, and level 3. There's different rewards, and there is a lot of silver locked behind some of these reputation levels. So you can go ahead and take a look at the quest. You can see what it wants you to do, which quest is required, or which Una task is required for that resource, and then you can start unlocking 25,000 silver, 30,000 silver, 50,000 silver. Some of them are a little bit lower depending on the tier of the quest, but some of them can get very, very high, and it is quite generous. The next thing we have is going to be the welcome challenge. A lot of these quests in here are very simple, and you will most likely do them along the way, but some of them are more odd, like edit and save an integrated preset. I didn't even know what that was until I looked for it for the quest. And then there are some easy ones like, okay, just do a tier 3 dimensional cube. I'm sure we've all done this, but there can be a generous amount of silver tied behind it, like 200k, 50k, 30k here and there. It just kind of depends on what it is. So go ahead and take a look at those welcome challenges, and if you see one that you have not completed that you can complete for silver, go ahead and pick it up. The next thing that we have is going to be islands. There are a lot of islands in the game, a lot of islands in the game, but most of them have quests on the islands, especially first-time quests. When you visit the island, each quest will sort of have a storyline or a quest line on the island, and a lot of the times it will give silver, like 15,000, 20,000 silver for the next step, 20 more thousand silver for the next step. So these are going to be all really nice to go ahead and check out each island one time at least, and the islands generally scale with item levels. So if it's a low item level, a required island, you probably won't see as much silver, but the higher ones, like the 1100 required, you will probably see a large amount of silver coming from their quests there. You can simply go to any resource website and look up the name of the island to see the quests and list at exactly what rewards they are giving, and you will be able to determine if that is an island that is worth doing for you in terms of silver. But it is an option, so make sure to check that one out. The next thing we have is going to be Rapport. Rapport is something that will give you rewards when you reach certain ranks of reputation with an NPC character. As you can see here, this is Nia, and if you reach her first level of Rapport, you will receive 4 coins of 20,000 silver. So that's 80,000. It is quite a lot. The higher NPCs, like in the tier, so like tier 3 NPCs in Punica, will probably give a lot more silver, and the NPCs in the lower tiers will give a little bit less, but they still give something. There are several NPCs that primarily focus on silver, so you can go ahead and take a look through your Rapport catalog and go ahead and target those NPCs. You can give them Rapport gifts that you earn with Providence Stones, as well as using your daily free Rapport boost by playing the instrument or the emote, and that will be something that you can go ahead and track down and get a large source of silver from. The next thing we have is going to be the Sea Bounties. This is under the collectibles. Sea Bounties is a one-time reward kind of plan that is a long-term goal. A Sea Bounty is something that comes from any sort of island or like secret map. If you see anything that says secret map or adventure, something like that, that is a sea bounty, and a sea bounty will give you sea bounty points, and once you reach a certain amount of sea bounty points, you will receive a large amount of silver. This can be 200,000, it could be 400,000, it can be 1 million, and even 2 million silver. There is quite a generous amount of silver locked behind this, which makes sea bounties something that's very worth your time, as well as several other good rewards along the way. So if you're interested in looking for the collections and trying to collect them all, this is something for you. You can get very rich very quick doing this. The next thing that we have is going to be the login event rewards. Sometimes there are chests called the Regulus Light Currency chest that comes with the login event, so make sure to go ahead and check those out. I think most people generally collect this every day, but just wanted to make you aware that it is there and it's something that you can get. So, moving on, we will have the last source of one-time quests, and that is going to be the tower. The tower is usually located in any town. It's this little spire-shaped thing, and if you go ahead and go to it on some of your alternate characters, you will see low-level towers, floors that will be required to clear, and when you clear them, they'll give you like 60,000 silver or something like that. It's something really easy to do, and it's simple. You can do it on any alternate character, so go ahead and check that out if your character's in Tier 1 or Tier 2 or even Tier 3 and you haven't touch the tower for some reason. There is some silver in there that you can obtain, and it's a decent chunk for sure. Next, we will go ahead and move on to the next section, which is going to be talking about RNG. RNG now, we're going to be talking about Cube Tickets. This is the biggest RNG in the game. Cube Tickets come from the Chaos Dungeon. It is a drop from the boss, the big boss on the second floor. It is random whether you get it or not. I've heard it's something like your odds are greatly increased every like 6 or 4 runs or something like that, but it's just RNG whether you get ability stone or a boss ticket or a cube ticket or anything else for that matter. You also get cube tickets can also come RNG from the boxes that you can purchase weekly from the Bloodstone vendor right here. So you can go ahead and see that. Anything that has like a Tier 1 or Tier 2 area has a chance to give silver, but also a cube ticket, and cube tickets do give a large amount of silver. When you complete a cube, there are sometimes rare levels in the cube, which will give you a huge boost in silver or even gold and tier materials. So again, it's super RNG, but you can get generous sums of silver, like hundreds of thousands. Just depends on your luck and where that stands. So now we will go ahead and dive into the daily section of silver. So there are a lot of daily opportunities that you can do for silver, so we'll go ahead and take a look at those now. So these are mostly going to be tied behind the Unatas, and particularly one section of Unatas called the Lopang Islands. The Lopang Island is a little island off of the shore of Vern that will require you to basically visit the port or dock of several continents, right? It's very simple. You go to the island, you pick it up, and as you can see here, this is giving me 28,000 silver, 25,000 silver, 25,000 silver, and this all scales with your character level, like item level, so what tier your character is in. So if you do this on a low level character, like a Tier 1 character, it'll probably be like 4,000 to 5,000 silver, but it's still something really good because you can save up your rested bonus and you can cash in on double, and you can get quite a large amount of silver, especially depending on the amount of alts that you have. So Lopang Island is definitely a great place to go, and Unatas are a great place to go. Even if you don't want to do this Lopang Island, there are other quests, but they generally don't give as much silver, so I would probably focus on the Lopang Island quests. The next thing we have is going to be Boombling Island. This is a weird island. It's going to require you to play like some sort of a little mini game, but it's located on a little bit north of Lutera. As you can see here, this Boombling Island. You can go here, play this sort of little mini game, and you can get a pouch with some items in it. There can be items that sell for 10,000 silver, so it's a nice thing to do. You can do this on each of your characters as sort of like a little daily activity. So you can go ahead and check that out if you really want to start raking in the silver. And speaking of islands, the other island that I would recommend is going to be Kalthertz, and that is if you have a lot of pirate coins already. But Kalthertz Island is the place where you free the prisoners, and if you free the prisoners that I believe are 300 tokens, and I think the other one is 300 male prisoner and a 900 female prisoner. I believe that's correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, down in the comments. But if you go to this island, you can free them, and they will send you silver within the mail. So if you want to convert your pirate coins into silver, that is something that you can do. Maybe I wouldn't recommend it so much if you still need your pirate coins, but if you've already bought your Astray and you've already gotten all your secret maps and stuff, this is probably something you will be doing in the end game. So now we'll go ahead to our next source of daily islands, and that is probably going to be, or daily resources for silver, that is going to be the Chaos Dungeon. The Chaos Dungeon is a great place of silver. If you do this on any rank, you will get silver drops within the dungeon itself, so make sure you are doing it on every single character that you own. If you have an alternate character, you can do it as well. You will get a nice chunk of change, and you will get more silver depending on the tier of the character that will be going in there. So basically, each character that you ascend into the higher tier will keep raking you in more and more and more money. So that's going to be something nice to go ahead and aim for. Next, we have Adventure Islands, which is going to be something slightly different. This is going to be a daily island. If you open up your compass, you will see daily appearances that will sometimes come up, and you can see a set of islands. Now, each daily island or adventure island will give silver, but there are some that give double sources of silver or a large chunk of silver as their main reward. So if it's over here on the left, that means that its main reward is silver. Silver is usually listed at the end, and a way you can double check on these type of things would just be simply by going to the menu in the top left here, and you can go ahead and click that out with the arrow, and you can scroll down until you find one of those Adventure Island sets that are spawning, and you can see here that when you mouse over it, it says silver, but next to silver at the top, there's a sort of little compass indicator, and that basically says that the main reward for this island is extra silver and extra Providence Stone. And if I go over here to this other one, this main reward will be pirate coins and high sea chest coin, and as well as Providence Stone, so it will tell you exactly what you're going to get as the bonus resource. This can also be used for gold and other things, so that's going to be a good indicator for a daily large source of chunk of silver that you can go ahead and get. So now we will lastly move on to your weekly sources of silver. So your weekly sources of silver are mainly going to come from your shop over here, your Bloodstone Shop. We talked a bit about it before with the cube tickets, and you will see at the end in this entrance ticket tab, you can buy the entrance tickets for your tier, whatever you are, tier 3, but you can also buy the tier 2 versions, and they also have silver or potentially cube tickets in it, which do convert to silver because you do the cube and you get a large amount of silver. So I'd go ahead and pick those up every week if I could. If I was you, because it's a large chunk, it could be anywhere between like 100, 200,000 silver just for buying all these things. And then finally, there is weekly silver chests that you can buy with bloodstones in the XP and silver portion. They are a little bit expensive for the amount of silver that they give, so I'm not sure I would recommend this. I would probably say buy all your other stuff first, and if you just have a lot of extra for some reason, then you can go for the silver, but it is something that you can do if you're really desperate and starving for silver. So the next thing we have for the weekly section, and the final thing on our list, is going to be weekly tasks. And this is something that I would not recommend to do on your main character, but I would recommend to do on a character that has already reached 1400 item level, or a character that has, you're not planning to advance very far, like an alternate character. But there are several quests, like the weekly for the cube, that will give you bonus silver. So in addition to doing that cube that will give you silver, you will get a quest that will give you silver as well again. So this is 72,000 silver, and you can also do it a second time, so you can take those two quests for silver. And there is a Chaos Dungeon clearing silver reward, so for the second Chaos Dungeon quest, you can go ahead and take that for a decent chunk of change there. So if you have a character that just does tier 1 Chaos Dungeon every day for mats or whatever you want to do, you want to sell them or however that works out, you can go ahead and pick up this quest and complete it for free along the way. While you do that, it just takes you a few chaos runs and you'll be able to cash in on that. Same thing with the cube. All right, that's going to be everything for silver-related coverage here. I hope that this video has helped you and it will increase the amount of silver that you have. If you've managed to make a large quantity, go ahead and let me know where you got it down below. And if I have missed anything, please make sure to comment down below and let me know if there's a large source of silver that I'm unaware of. I would definitely be happy to add it to the video or into the future videos as we move on. Thanks once again for watching all of this stuff. We have a subscribe, like, and bell button down below. Make sure to check that out if you have not already, as well as a Discord and social media links. And make sure to follow and watch for more Lost Ark related content. We will catch you in the next video. See you later.